not quite finished the new workshop yet, but inside is almost finished and usable now, so I thought I'd have a go at filming a small project. It's been a while since I've made something for my wooden aquarium, so I thought I'd have a go at making a seahorse. For this project I'll be using the scroll saw. It's nice to step away from the CNC now and again and be more hands-on. I took a basic clip art image from the internet and made various changes to suit the project. Normally I'd credit the original source, but having searched for it I can't remember which site it was from. But once I've sorted it, I'll upload the file onto the Scroll Saw and Intarsia Woodworking Facebook group along with any other files that I create in the future. I also post regular update pictures on my Instagram page, Smugwood. I'm still getting organised in the workshop, so a lot of my offcuts are still bagged up, but there are a few pieces here that look suitable. I'm going to use some Canadian hard maple for the main pieces and French oak for the ribs. Both pieces I bought from British Hardwoods in Yorkshire. So first things first, I'll glue the template to the wood. To make it easier to remove afterwards, I'll glue it to some blue masking tape rather than to the wood itself. The blade I'll be using to cut the wood is a Pegasus Super Skip number 9, and once it's in place I check for tension and correct teeth direction. Now I get a lot of comments about the wearing of gloves. I wear gloves because I have allergies to wood. There are times when I will take them off, more so when using lathes or drill presses and machines that rotate, but I weigh up the risk for each machine. For the scroll saw, I find that they help with gripping the wood comfortably, so I have no issues wearing them here. Whilst it's in one piece, I drill the hole for the eye, which I'll later fill with Milliput. At this stage, I number the parts for reference. Whilst I don't show it on the video, I did drop the seahorse a few times after gluing and bits broke off the tail, so it was handy to be able to identify each piece for ease of re-gluing. I realised at this point it was going to be almost impossible to clamp up the pieces when gluing, so I tried a combination of Osmo wood glue and hot glue, the idea being that I get a more or less instant fix whilst the wood glue dried. It wasn't ideal, but it seemed to work, and afterwards I filled any gaps at the back with more glue. After sanding the back flat, I added a birch ply backing to help strengthen the piece up. Then came the real challenging part, the carving and the sanding. The maple was so hard and was a real struggle to work with. I started with the Wizard before trying a few sanders, but decided the Wizard was the quickest way. It took a few hours to carve with lots of sanding in between. The sanded finish wasn't too great, but it's only for a bit of fun, so I decided not to go overboard. I was quite a bit disappointed with some of the gaps between the pieces, so I decided to try and make a feature of this mistake by sewing down the gaps and filling with turquoise blue Milliput. It wasn't a bad idea in theory, but it added a lot more time to the project. Because of the thickness of the ribs I'd added, it meant that the fin didn't fit properly. I was a bit lazy here and just rough cut it to shape and filled the gap with Milliput after gluing. I also used Milliput for the eye. Normally I'd finish a project with an oil of some kind, but I decided to try this wood butter from William Head of WH Creations, a fellow maker. It finished the piece off nicely and it smelled great too. By finishing off with the wood butter rather than the oil, it meant that I could handle the piece straight away after finishing rather than having to wait for it to dry. So here's the finished piece, but there's one more thing left to do.